My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Welcome to a video on how to get good at Super Commando, the soldier capable of dealing more burst damage than how necks are fixed in Ohio. Players who are able to master the art of bursting down enemies will be able to assassinate more victims than the number of times PopCap has rebuilt PVZ3. Let's get started. The Super Commando is a variant of the soldier class who comes with a sassy attitude and whose appearance genuinely resembles that one kid from high school who almost always had some crazy ass hairdo. His primary weapon is of a burst fire crossbow weapon that, despite his character model and graphics depicting at least 5 rounds in the chamber, the game decides to not give a single shit about consistency at all. Each time the fire button is pressed, even if not held, the weapon fires out all 3 rounds within the clip at a rate of 500 rounds per minute before needing to take an extremely short 0.75 second reload, the fastest in the entire game. Each shot fired can deal 17 damage for a normal hit and 20.4 damage for a critical hit, which can add up to a maximum of 51 damage per burst if all 3 shots hit, or a maximum of 61.2 per burst if all 3 shots crit. However, the weapon does have quite the harsh drop-off, with it going down to 12 damage for a normal hit and 14.4 for a critical hit, which can add up to a maximum of 36 per burst if all 3 shots hit, or a maximum of 43.2 per burst if all the shots crit at mid-range. Because of Super Commando's vastly different primary weapon, one should change their playstyle into a more flank or assassin-like style. Think of Super Commando's primary as like an alternate version of the beggar's bazooka, except faster since you don't have to manually load each round beforehand. His burst fire nature makes him great at taking enemies by surprise, since by opening up with a huge burst of up to a maximum of 61 damage, you can essentially erase most sunflowers in 2 bursts if your aiming skills are up to code, or the enemy has the situational awareness of a brainlet and never passed grades preschool because they were too busy picking their ass. Of course, because of how the weapon functions, you will need to be on point with when you press the fire button during fights, so that there is as little downtime as possible. This is especially apparent when you first unlock him, as despite his reload duration only being 3/4 of a second, because his damage per clip is so fucking low, his damage output is going to be noticeably lower in comparison to most of the other variants, so timing your button presses to be straight after the reload has finished will be critical in ensuring you can get the most out of Super Commando's weapon. The optimum upgrade setup for the Super Commando would be the 2 reloads and the damage upgrade. Both reload upgrades are going to be essential to Super Commando's performance, as with both of them combined, they reduce the reload duration from 0.75 seconds to only 0.48 seconds, which allows you to fire your bursts at a much faster pace and get even more damage out against your enemies. And the damage upgrade helps this even further by increasing the maximum potential damage per burst up close from 61 to 67.5, allowing you the potential to kill most pea shooters within as little as 2 perfect crit bursts. In terms of strengths, the Super Commando's burst fire nature allows him to easily shred through low health enemies if they are not expecting it. His fast reload, which can become even faster with both reload upgrades equipped, allow him to pump out a lot of burst damage quickly, meaning that they can quickly assassinate one target and move on to another one almost straight away. However, the Super Commando's weapon does have a short damage drop-off range, and when paired with how his weapon functions, it means that additional reloads will be needed to kill certain classes, which may grant them enough time to kill you. Additionally, when he is first unlocked, his damage output is on the lower end, so until you get access to his reload upgrades, you will struggle quite a bit. Thanks to this guide, you will now be the master of sweating as a Super Commando main, and wonder why everyone used to call him a little god back in Garden Warfare 1. Be sure to come back for the next episode next week. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more shit like this. Have fun.